When are you actually gonna stop with all of this stress? When are you actually gonna throw all of this stress and all of these fears out of the window and start living? You might actually find yourself completely in the situation that I'm about to describe, and that's, imagine that you have some tests in school, some deadline in work, some stuff you just need to simply do, and it's gonna expire in a week. So you got 1 week period of time until you're gonna need to do something. So you got 1 week of preparation, and still, before the exam, before the deadline at work, and only thing you do every single day for this 1 week is you basically tell yourself, oh my god, I'm in so much stress, I can't make it, what if I'm gonna fail it, I'm just gonna fail the class this year, I'm just gonna fail this exam this year and not get the dream grade that I want to get, I'm not gonna have as good score as I would want to, I'm not gonna get accepted to college, I'm not gonna hit this deadline in work, I'm just gonna make a lot less money, I will just ruin myself, I will get bankrupt, I will lose my job and stuff. Like, this is so much stress and I want to get rid of this. Like, oh my god, what am I gonna do? And this might be actually the stuff that you basically tell yourself with pretty much any reason. Like, right, it can be driving school, as it is in my case now. I also made this video about it, or like talked about this in this video, but also usually it might be actually pretty much anything that triggers you or frightens you or stress you, or that you stress about. And we usually tend to say to ourselves, like, once this thing is over, I can completely finally relax, take a deep breath, and just everything will be alright, or is going to be alright. But then we find ourselves in the situation where the deadline is over, where the school project is done, when the exam is finished, and it might actually went a lot better than we thought that it is going to be, or it would be, or it would go, and we still celebrate for it, or we experience some sort of relief for 5 to 10 minutes, and then we find to ourselves, or for ourselves, another thing that we can stress about. And this happens to me so many times. Like, the stress is now everyday routine for me. Basically, whenever I wake up, I feel some sort of stress, unless I journal about it for several hours, or unless I actually sit with it in complete silence, basically staring into a wall, proning to this wardrobe and just staring here to this wall, and just thinking about life, critically thinking about all of these things, and just letting myself some space to process all of these things and just get over them mentally. And so unless I do these things, I never really relax. And whenever I start my new day, or whenever I start a new day, I basically wake up still with some sort of stress in my veins, in my blood, and I still shake a bit, I still feel nervous, and it can be pretty much about anything. And I have a perfect model situation for this. So 2 weeks ago, I basically got to know that 1 week ago, or like the next week, I will actually go to have a driving lessons with one of the instructors that I don't really like. So I was stressing about it for a whole 1 week until I got this driving lesson. I was shaking. Whenever I would wake up, I would just start to immediately think about it, and basically for the whole day, until the point of when I would go to bed, I wouldn't be actually able to just let it go. I would always stress. I would stress non-stop about it. I would shake about it. I would just talk about it non-stop. I would complain a lot about it, and about him, and about this whole driving lesson, and like, why do I have to be stuck in a car for 90 minutes with this douchebag and stuff, like, he's gonna yell at me all the time, it's gonna be so trash. And I basically had also holidays from school at that period of time, and the whole holidays in school, from school that I had, I spent stressing and being frightened by this one single 90-minute long driving lesson with this one particular instructor. And what it actually do to me was what it actually led to was me not even enjoying the holidays, not even being productive, because the only thing I could have actually think about was about how much I don't want to be with him. I was just stressing all the time. But hey, then Tuesday last week, basically everything was, or like that was the day when I actually had this exact lesson with him, this exact practice drive, which I've been worried about for 1 week, one whole week of my free time and holidays that I just decided to waste. And I got into that car and like a snap on a finger, like fucking miracle has happened. I don't know how or why, but this dude was extremely calm, he was really polite, and he was explaining pretty much all of the things to me. And I was like, what the fuck? Like after 90 minutes, the drive or the practice lesson was done. I basically stepped out of the car and I basically got out of the car, went straight home, and I was like, what the hell was that? Like, okay, it's finally done. I finished it. It wasn't anything I should have been scared about or anything that I needed to stress about or be scared of. I've already accomplished it. It's done. I can now relax, and I basically realized that I spent 1 week of just simply wasting it by simply being stressed and frightened all the time about this 90 minutes. But guess for how long it actually, this feeling of relief actually lasted to me or for me? Well, around maybe 2 hours. Then I basically needed or remembered that I have next week, in 1 week I would have the deadline for my math exam, and like I have pretty bad grades in mathematics, so like this test was pretty important, and I would be stressing all the time about like, oh my god, I'm just gonna get a bad grade, I'm gonna have a really bad score in school, like nothing's gonna end up goodly, like oh my god, what if this is gonna happen, what if that's gonna happen, what if I'm just gonna have F from that test, D from that test, like oh my god, I'm so dumb. Mathematics was never my cup of tea, I always struggle with it, like I'm never gonna learn this, I'm just gonna fuck it up and screw it up all over again. And so I spent another 1 week every single day stressing about this thing and promising me about this math test and promising to myself that, hey, I know that we told to ourselves, or like I told to myself that I need to stop with all of this stress, but hey, this is really important, and like I still need to stress about it, I still really need to feel bad about it and really be frightened about it, and I really still need to give it extreme amount of attention, and yeah, so still it's gonna be few days of me stressing, and then after I finally have this mathematics exam complete, I'm just gonna get relieved and everything's gonna be good. Yesterday I finally went through this math exam. I think it's gonna be a really good grade, and I also spent 1 full week stressing about it. I spent one full whole week wasting by bad emotions and by stress, and now I know that it was really a waste of fucking time, and I still, even the second day, the day after because I had that exam yesterday, the day after, I still have some sort of stress in my belly, in my stomach. I didn't have time to journal about it, and sit with myself and process it, so that might be actually the case, or the root cause of this whole stress. And yeah, so this is basically what is my perfect model situation that happened to me 2 weeks ago, or that was happening to me for all this period of time, for these whole 2 weeks. So to give you some advice at the end of this video, I really would, I know I say this in pretty much every single video that I upload, but I would strongly encourage you and recommend you to start journaling, deeply journal pretty much every single day for at least 20 to 30 minutes, and you're gonna see that you have a lot less stress in your life. If it is possible for you to find 30 minutes of free time, then if it is also possible for you to find another 30 minutes of free time, I would strongly encourage you to sit with yourself for these 20 to 30 minutes at least every single day and stare into something that's not gonna move or that's not gonna change and stimulate you on or entertain you in any aspect. And this is not meditation, by the way. The technique that I use is called, I don't know how is it called, I just invented it by myself. It's not any technique, I just get prone to this. I just stare to a wall, and usually I try to pretty much listen to my mind. So if I got something that I really now freshly figured out, if I got some brand new idea for a video, if I got some brand new thought or thing that I could have changed and I could change and implement to my life, I start to critically think about it. I journal maybe about it, or I just note it in my mind. I try to remember it, and I really start to critically overthink it and think strategically about it if it makes any sense or not. But then on the other hand, if I got nothing to actually think about or nothing that I would actually come up with, I just stare into the ground and do nothing. I just listen to my mind. If my mind storms me with hundreds of thoughts, I listen to them and I go one by one, through them one by one, carefully, and I just critically think about them and analyze them if they are true or not, if they make some sort of sense or not. But on the other hand, if I basically look at this wall and I see nothing, and I see nothing, when I think about nothing and my mind is pretty much empty, and I can only be here and relax and be like, oh, okay, so I got nothing to do, so I guess I got nothing to think about, nothing new is happening, so I'm just gonna stare into wall and not think about anything. So it's not meditation, it's not anything like this, it's not brainstorming either, it's just what your mind gives you. I just usually take it, or you should actually take it. This is the technique that I use for 30 minutes, and whenever I just do 30 minutes or 1 hour of sitting with myself and 30 minutes to 1 hour of journal, usually I like to journal for multiple hours a day, I actually start to see after 1 week, maybe even 3 days in some cases, of doing this regularly, consistently, I see so much of an improvement in my mental health, and I see a lot less stress in my life. So this is what I would encourage you to do. Also, you need to work out. Pretty much everyone needs to work out. Keep yourself healthy. Eat clean. So eat clean, get yourself in shape, work out, journal, and sit with yourself. That's it. See you in the next video.